The Beast of Gévaudan is one of the most famous unsolved mysteries in French history. Between 1764 and 1767, a series of deadly attacks occurred in the rural province of Gévaudan in south-central France. The attacks were blamed on a mysterious animal that witnesses described as larger and more aggressive than a typical wolf. Over the course of 3 years, dozens of people were killed, and many others were injured. The attacks attracted national attention, leading to military involvement, royal hunting expeditions, and widespread public fear. More than 250 years later, historians continue to debate what the beast actually was. Some believe it was an unusually large wolf, while others suggest it may have been a wolf-dog hybrid, an exotic animal, or even the product of exaggerated stories fueled by fear. The mystery remains an important part of French folklore and continues to fascinate people around the world. To understand the Beast of Gévaudan, it is important to understand the region in which the attacks took place. Gévaudan was a rural province located in what is now the Loire department of France. The landscape consists of forests, mountains, valleys, and open grazing land. Most people living in the area were farmers, shepherds, or laborers who depended on agriculture for their survival. During the 18th century, wolves were common throughout France. They frequently attacked livestock and were considered a serious threat to rural communities. Although attacks on humans were less common, stories about dangerous wolves were well known. Because people often worked alone in fields or tended animals in remote areas, they were vulnerable to attacks by predators. France was also facing economic and political difficulties during this period. The 7 Years' War had recently ended, leaving many regions struggling financially. Communication between villages was slow, and rumors often spread quickly. In such an environment, reports of a mysterious killer could easily create widespread panic. The first official report of a victim of the beast was Jean Boulet, a 14-year-old shepherdess who was killed on June 30th, 1764. She was tending livestock near the village of Les Hubaux when she was attacked and killed by an unknown animal. However, Jean Boulet was not the first person to encounter the creature. Earlier reports described a young woman who survived an attack after cattle under her care drove the animal away. Witnesses claimed that the creature resembled a wolf, but possessed unusual characteristics. It appeared larger than normal wolves and showed little fear of humans. After Jean Boulet's death, attacks began occurring with greater frequency. Many victims were women and children who were alone in fields or forests. The wounds found on victims were often concentrated around the head, neck, and upper body. This pattern differed from typical wolf attacks and contributed to the growing belief that the beast was something unusual. Local authorities began documenting attacks and collecting witness statements as reports spread throughout France. Newspapers began covering the story. What started as a local tragedy quickly became a national concern. During late 1764 and throughout 1765, the attacks intensified. Villagers reported seeing a strange animal with reddish-brown fur, a dark stripe running down its back, and an unusually large body. Some witnesses claimed that the beast was capable of leaping great distances and attacking victims with remarkable speed. The fear created by the attacks spread throughout the province. Parents became afraid to allow children to travel alone. Farmers altered their routines, and many villagers traveled in groups whenever possible. Church leaders interpreted the attacks in different ways. Some viewed the beast as a punishment from God, while others believed it represented an evil force threatening the community. One notable event involved a group of children led by Jacques Portefeuille. When the beast attacked, the children reportedly worked together to defend themselves using sticks and spears. Their bravery attracted attention throughout France and earned praise from King Louis XV. As the attacks continued, stories about the beast became increasingly dramatic. Some people believed it could not be killed by ordinary weapons. Others suggested that it was a supernatural creature rather than a natural animal. Whether these stories were true or exaggerated, they contributed to the growing legend surrounding the beast. The severity of the attacks eventually led government officials to take action. Captain Jean-Baptiste Duhamel and a group of soldiers were assigned to hunt the beast. Large hunting parties searched forests and mountains throughout the region. Hundreds of wolves were killed during these efforts. Despite these hunts, the attacks continued. The inability of trained soldiers and hunters to stop the killings only increased public fear. Many residents began to believe that the beast was something far more dangerous than an ordinary wolf. King Louis XV eventually became involved. Concerned about the growing panic and the negative publicity surrounding the attacks, he sent professional hunters to Gévaudan. Among them was Francois Antoine, the king's chief gun-bearer and an experienced hunter. In September 1765, Antoine killed a very large wolf that became known as the Wolf of Chazé. The animal was examined and displayed as evidence that the beast had been destroyed. For a short time, many people believed that the mystery had been solved. However, reports of attacks resumed several months later. This development raised questions about whether Antoine had truly killed the beast or merely one of several dangerous predators in the region. The mystery reached its conclusion in June 1767 when a local hunter named Jean Chastel reportedly killed an unusual animal near Mount Moshe. According to popular accounts, Chastel encountered the creature while participating in a hunting expedition. Legends later claimed that Chastel used silver bullets to kill the beast, though historians have found little evidence to support this story. The silver bullet tale appears to have developed years after the event and may have been influenced by folklore. Following the animal's death, its body was examined by local officials. Descriptions suggested that it possessed several unusual physical characteristics, though records vary in their details. Most importantly, the attacks largely stopped after the animal was killed. Because the killings ended shortly afterward, many people concluded that Chastel had successfully slain the Beast of Gévaudan. Nevertheless, uncertainty remained regarding the animal's true identity. Over the years, numerous theories have been proposed to explain the Beast of Gévaudan. The most widely accepted explanation is that the attacks were carried out by one or more wolves. As wolves were common in France during the 18th century, and unusually large individuals occasionally existed. Supporters of this theory argue that fear and exaggerated witness descriptions transformed a dangerous wolf into a legendary monster. Another theory suggests that the beast was a wolf-dog hybrid. Such animals can be larger and more aggressive than ordinary wolves, potentially matching some eyewitness descriptions. Some researchers have proposed that the creature may have been an exotic animal, such as a hyena or a lion. Wealthy individuals occasionally kept exotic animals during this period, and an escaped predator could explain the unusual appearance reported by witnesses. Other theories involve human involvement. Some historians have suggested that a person may have trained an animal to attack people or played a role in the attacks. However, direct evidence supporting this theory is limited. Supernatural explanations continue to appear in folklore. Stories describing the beast as a werewolf, demon, or cursed creature became popular long after the attack stopped. While these explanations are not supported by historical evidence, they have helped keep the legend alive. The Beast of Gévaudan is unusually well documented compared to many historical mysteries. Parish records, government reports, letters, and newspaper articles provide valuable information about the attacks. Church records often documented deaths and burials, helping historians estimate the number of victims. Government reports recorded hunting efforts and official responses to the crisis. Newspapers spread information throughout France, making the beast one of the most widely discussed stories of its time. Despite this evidence, challenges remain. Witness accounts sometimes contradicted one another, and many descriptions were influenced by fear and rumor. Some reports were written months after events occurred, raising questions about accuracy. Historians must therefore evaluate sources carefully. While the attacks themselves are well documented, the exact nature of the beast remains uncertain. The Beast of Gévaudan has remained an important part of French folklore for more than 2 centuries. Books, documentaries, television programs, and films have explored the mystery from a variety of perspectives. One reason the story continues to attract attention is that it combines history, mystery, and legend. Unlike many folklore creatures, the beast was associated with real events, documented victims, and official government investigations. The mystery has also become a source of tourism in the former region of Gévaudan. Museums, monuments, and historical exhibits commemorate the attacks and preserve local traditions related to the beast. Today, The Beast of Gévaudan is remembered as one of the most famous monster legends in European history. Whether it was a wolf, an exotic predator, or something else entirely, its story continues to inspire debate and fascination. Although numerous theories have been proposed, no explanation has been universally accepted. The most likely answer is that one or more large predators were responsible for the attacks, but the identity of the beast may never be known. The lasting fascination with the beast demonstrates the power of mystery in human history. Through a combination of eyewitness testimony, folklore, and documented events, the story has survived for more than 250 years and remains one of the world's most famous unsolved animal mysteries.